Are you looking for the best vacuum Marinator 2025? In this video we will look at some of the 5 best vacuum Marinator on the market. Before we get started with our video, click in the description link to buy good quality products. FoodSaver is the 800-pound gorilla among home vacuum sealers. The company is the longest established manufacturer of these products, with its first sealer released in 1987. FoodSaver has a large lineup of models, but the VS3150 offers the best combination of features and utility for the money of all of the vacuum sealers we tested. It's easy to understand, use and clean, works with a wide selection of bags and containers, and gave us solid results in our testing. The FoodSaver has a modern, clean clamshell design, with bag storage and the vacuum chamber integrated into the bottom shell and a bag cutter and main controls on the top lid. On the right side of the bottom shell, you'll find the locking clamp. This provided a tight seal throughout our time with the device. A handheld sealer attachment fits into a storage compartment in the top lid. We found ourselves using the handheld quite a bit. It's great for marinating, using FoodSaver's nicely designed storage containers, and the reclosable bags and containers are convenient to use if you want to keep items like cheese and cold cuts in the refrigerator where they'll be frequently accessed, but you still want to take advantage of vacuum sealing to keep them fresh as long as possible. The handheld attachment also doubles as an accessory port for sealing mason jars when the mason jar attachment, purchased separately, is connected. In a nod to one of our favorite uses for a vacuum sealer, preparing food for sous vide cooking in a water bath, in addition to the usual dry, moist, and pulse vacuum modes, the FoodSaver features a sous vide mode which stutters the vacuum automatically, presumably for optimizing the seal for juicier food items. We didn't find this made much of a difference with sous vide bags versus the moist setting, and it felt like a bit of a gimmick to us. Number 2. Georian Vacuum Sealer E2900 MS. If you don't think you'll be using a vacuum sealer all the time and just want a basic model that won't break the bank, the Georian should suit your kitchen. At 2.6 pounds and 14 inches across, it's one of the smallest and lightest units we looked at, so it's easy to tuck away in a cabinet when you aren't using it. It doesn't have internal bag storage, but if you don't need to keep it at the ready all the time, this likely won't matter to you. The Georian seals just fine. It has toggleable moist and dry settings that work well to deal with juicy foods. We had no issues with the bags we used it on, and it can accommodate the same 8-inch and 11-inch standard bags that the bigger and more expensive models use. It even has an accessory port to seal foods in containers, with a dedicated canister button. Understandably, given the low cost, it's a little more finicky to use than our top pick. It uses a simple snap attachment for the upper and lower pieces and not a locking clamp like the much more expensive FoodSaver or Anova units. As with the FoodSaver models, a big benefit of the Georian is that it's easy to clean. The base of the unit is completely removable from the top lid/clamshell, containing all of the electronics and the motor/heat strip, so that it can be cleaned thoroughly, even completely immersed under soapy water, after operation. Frankly, we wish all basic sealers were designed like the Georian. Number 3. FoodSaver Vacuum Sealer VS4840. While we think the FoodSaver 3150 will fit the needs of just about any home kitchen, the FoodSaver 4840 is a step up because it includes all the features of the 3000 series, plus a mode that combines auto vacuum with auto seal, so you don't actually have to touch any controls to start the vacuum seal process, making it ideal for folks who are handling raw ingredients and helping to minimize user error. If you typically buy large cuts of meat and process them into smaller portions to keep in the freezer to cook later, the VS4840 is for you. The main advantage of this model is the automatic vacuum and seal function. You don't need to fiddle with the lid or line the bag perfectly up to the vacuum chamber. Just guide the opening of the bag towards the chamber with the lid closed, and the device will automatically draw it in, using a motorized roller mechanism, and begin the vacuum and sealing process. It's a neat feature that really simplifies things and makes for less of a mess if you are the kind of cook who typically buys large cuts of meat and processes them into smaller portions to keep in the freezer to use later. As with the VS3150, the VS4840 has a built-in handheld tool and integrated storage for it on the left side of the unit. Simply retract it from its compartment and a spring-loaded mechanism allows it to furl back into its spool when needed. In our opinion, this is a significant improvement over the 3000 series because while that model also has a permanently attached handheld, it isn't on a spring-loaded retractable spool. the tubing just coils behind the unit, so it's a cleaner design. The unit also features a lighted progress bar, which gives you slightly more insight into how long the vacuum process is going than some of the other models we tested. As with the 3000 series, the 4840 has a removable easy-to-clean vacuum chamber in the event juices and other liquids get pulled out of the food and into the chamber during the vacuum process. Number 4. FoodSaver Multi-Use Handheld Vacuum Sealer and Marinator FS2160. Along with the full-featured sealers that included a handheld extension, we tested a couple of handheld-only sealers. These devices work only with reusable bags and containers that have a compatible valve. Typically you are tied into the company you purchased from to find compatible bags and containers. Used with their corresponding bags, they work well to seal and store food. The FoodSaver FS2160 edged out the Zwilling for a couple of reasons. It had a more convenient charging base, which was intuitive to use and doubled as a storage solution. The FoodSaver FS2160 also offers a useful marination function, which automatically turns the vacuum on and off over the course of 10 minutes when attached to a container. This function, which most of companies' countertop versions also have, periodically releases and increases vacuum pressure to force the marination juices into the meat. We did this with some chicken wings that we grilled, compared with some that were simply just bag marinated, and we definitely tasted a difference in the intensity of the marinade. Part of the benefit of the FoodSaver system is the quality of its vacuum containers and resealable bags, as they are essential to the use of the handheld unit, which is optimized for quick use, marination, and food preservation. We really like the 10-cup container that was sent to us for evaluation, which is strongly constructed out of a high-impact plastic and has a very tight vacuum seal, a marination setting that corresponds with the unit's marination mode, and a prominent pressure release knob, although it does require a few days of use to break it in for smooth operation, as it initially requires quite a bit of force to open. You can get these bags individually or in kits pairing a 10-cup and 3-cup container for $35. Number 5. Innova Precision Vacuum Sealer Pro. The Innova Precision Vacuum Sealer Pro has all of the features we look for in a great vacuum sealer: powerful suction, several useful control options, a slot for bag storage, a bag cutter, an accessory port for using attachments to seal jars or marinate meat, and a foot-long sealing bar that creates a double seal on bags. It's smaller than many other models with the same features, so it's easy to store, whether you plan to keep it in a cupboard or on the counter. We also like this model's simple, streamlined controls and overall design. It doesn't have a cancel button like our runner-up pick does, but if you open the lid, the machine will automatically stop suctioning. In contrast with most models, this machine's lid closes with little effort, thanks to the handle that runs the length of the unit. The Precision Vacuum Sealer Pro's sealer also comes with one starter bag roll,